Right, buddy, Denzel Dumfries' potential interest. We've got some update on the Elliot Anderson situation, about a deal with Man City being, or the update on the deal with Man City. We've got some more other updates as well, which we'll go through and have a conversation about the latest Manchester United news, Sancho leaving, and much more. But the first thing that I saw was Denzel Dumfries. So, Manchester United are one of the four Premier League clubs preparing to pursue Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan, who reportedly has a €25 million release clause. Inter are offering a 1 year extension worth €5 million, which would crucially remove his release clause, which is €25 million. Listen, Denzel Dumfries is someone who has been mentioned for United for a while. I think he's definitely an intriguing profile. He's 29 years of age, has a contract till 2028 at the club, but again does have that 20 million release clause. I think with a right back, we definitely do need one. I think Dalot, where he's been consistent this season for United, we definitely do need improvements. And again, is Denzel Dumfries the perfect right back? I'd probably argue against it immediately. If you're looking at his profile, he is a right wing back, and most of his good games that he's had, whether that being for the national team or for Inter, has been in that forward position. Now you look at it, the formation is a very clear 3-5-2 with two strikers, two wing backs, and that's where he operates very, very well. It was kind of similar to Frimpong when we were linked to him. He was playing very well in a wing back, and you look now when he plays for Liverpool, he plays as a right winger, and I think that's something where United have to look at signing the right sort of profile. In terms of candidate though, I think Dumfries is definitely a decent option, but wouldn't be someone I'd go out and sign permanently in my opinion. I think for 20 million he's definitely an option to consider, but his defensive limitations are concerned probably. I think you need someone that's a bit more balanced. But again though, when you do watch him, he doesn't look defensively, he don't look very poor defensively. So again, he's definitely a decent option, but he does have his limitations. But for 20 million you can't really go wrong. I don't think right back's a priority this summer, but it's definitely a position that United need to look at strengthening in my opinion. In terms of Sancho, Borussia Dortmund are exploring a free for Sancho. Talks continued, but he needed a pay cut to return. Listen, Sancho's going to leave United on a free. Not really bothered where he goes to, as long as United can get him off the wage book, get him to a new club. I think that's something that United ultimately have to do this summer in terms of getting him off the wage book. You fill a position in the squad. And again, listen, Sancho, he was one of those signings that you'd hope would do well at United, but it just didn't work out. He's only had a lot of potential when he signed, whether that was for him not turning up or him not working hard. It just never got fulfilled for whatever reason, and I think him leaving is best for the club, and it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, hopefully you get some money for him, and we'll see what happens going forward in terms of replacing him. Now, in terms of the Elliot Anderson situation, so a lot of reports have come out today. So Nottingham Forest are adamant that no deal is in place for Anderson. The club is actively encouraging a summer bidding war despite the belief he is heading to Man City. Then, this is what Fabrizio said: there's no agreement or advanced talks with any clubs for Anderson at this stage. Forest relegation situation will play a major role in deciding his value. Any reported price isn't final, it will depend on the owner's stance when negotiations begin. When you see a price today, it's not guaranteed that will be the real price, because it depends on what the owner and his family will tell interesting clubs. Listen, Anderson, his future's not decided, whether that's City or Manchester United. They are the main clubs that he's going to go to. Now, Forest expect him to join either City or United. So far, no club has made direct contact. A fee in the region of 100 to 120 million is being talked about. Now, we know Anderson is the main target. He's the one United want. And I think he's someone who does have a lot of quality. I think his talent, experience is there. We know United want to get him. I think it's going to be difficult depending on what happens with Man City, whether that's looking at a permanent or Pep Guardiola staying on for a few more years, whether that's Rodri potentially leaving, Bernardo Silva's leaving. Would Anderson be that sort of replacement? I think regardless, if City didn't need a midfielder, they would go out and want to sign Anderson anyway. He's that good of a player. I think United can't make the same mistake that we did with Declan Rice, missing out on that sort of level of profile of player coming from a lower level Premier League team. It's clear that he's ready to make that step up. I think he's someone who does have a lot of quality, a lot of aims that you'd want, but obviously for Forest they want a bidding war. That then encourages people to spend more, but I'm sure he is going to leave leave Forest. Where he does go is still undecided. Which kind of makes sense. Now, Mateus Fernandes has emerged as a standout performer for West Ham, but the club have no intention of letting the Portuguese midfielder leave despite the threat of relegation and concrete interest from Manchester United and other sides. Now, the only reason why he's kind of been linked is because of the Bruno Fernandes recommendations and United obviously being desperate for a midfielder. I think Mateus Fernandes, when you watch him, I watched him briefly in the game against Leeds, and when he played, he is just a very good player. He's neat, he's tidy, he keeps the ball very, very well. He's a very good passer, can score a goal. He's someone who is just a class player. I think he's someone who, where he is, sort of, well, he's not really inexperienced. He's had a few seasons in English football, season in Premier League this season where he's done a very good job. Like, he's been absolutely fantastic, and he's someone who, for me, just has a lot of good qualities about him. He would definitely be someone that I sign, and I think his experience, yes, he don't have much, but it's definitely something that is valuable. But yeah, that has been your latest news. Could United potentially move for Dumfries? I don't think so. I think, yes, he is a good player, but long term, listen, he is 30. I think Delo is probably a better player than Dumfries, in my opinion. Mateus Fernandes, someone that United want, but West Ham are not willing to sell. And also there's some other interesting news as well on the Anderson situation, which you know is heating up. But yeah, thanks for watching.